Hello, everybody. It's episode 141, Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. Excuse me. And is with a heavy heart that I bring to you yet another loss in my world. My fourth one of the year, fourth one in about 4 months. I'm getting kind of tired of them, honestly. And I'm in a weird place where I almost feel like I'm getting hardened to them. Like that's almost like school shootings, how the country's just kind of gotten used to them. I feel like I'm getting used to people dying in my life this year, and it's a really shitty place to be. Um, I lost a friend from high school, a very popular friend from high school back in January. Then about a month ago, I lost one of my best friend's wives, and therefore one of my best friends, Pam. And then last week, lost a comic named Eric Lindstrom at way too young of an age. And now, I believe 2 days ago he died, but he had a stroke about a week ago. His name's Jay Jones, John Frederick Jones. And I've known him probably good 25 years. I've known him quite a while, maybe 30 years. He was one of that circle of friends, excuse me, the circle of friends that I got to know when I was working at the Tivoli 12 and working my way through college in my 20s. And just a great guy. He's around my age. I don't even know exactly his age. I know he's around 50. It doesn't matter. It matters, but he's going way too soon. Uh, yeah, so here we are talking about another great person who died in my life. I've been very fortunate. I really didn't lose anyone super close to me till I was 42. I mentioned her just last week because that was my grandma Jean, who died May 16th, 2010. And so I made it through 42 years without losing anyone super close. I'd lost some grandparents before that, but they were in New York, and I really didn't see them a lot after age 10, probably. But this guy was a great guy. I'll tell you some stuff about him. First of all, we often hear the cliche like he had a lust for life, a zest for life, live life to its fullest. He did it. He did it. He was always the bright, smiling, shining, intelligent face in the room. Never saw him look depressed. And let me tell you about Jay that I was not super close with him, but I definitely knew him, and I consider him a friend. He might have much closer friends, and I have much closer friends, but we were in each other's lives a decent amount, and so it's a loss. But yeah, he was always the lust for life guy, the happy guy in the room, the intelligent guy in the room. He brought a light with him. It was a thing of beauty. I'll describe him a little bit. First of all, he's a big, bald, black, beautiful man. I think he's about 6'3", about 250. It's kind of funny whenever we'd be at a bar or something. Inevitably, a white girl would come and go, "Are you a Denver Bronco?" And he's like, "No, I'm a lawyer." And he was a good lawyer, and he was also an entrepreneur. I believe, still has the business Jones Scones, which my parents love. So when my mom sees this, she's probably gonna be like, "Oh, really?" Um, so hopefully his wife that he's left behind and his young daughter can keep the business going, keep money flowing in. My friend Eric and I are trying to organize a memorial or a wake. I'm gonna try to do it at the Mercury Cafe, hopefully on June 26th. Um, just try to support. That's all we can do at this point. He used to play softball with me and Eric and some of the other guys from the movie theater. He wasn't employed at the theater, but we had this an inner circle of friends and the outer circle, and we just really all got to know each other, and we had enough people that we could make a softball team. We weren't very good. Let me point that out. We were not that great, but we had a lot of fun. He was amazingly flexible for a 6'3", 250-pound man. I would often play third base. He would play first base. So he had to catch all my errant throws, and he was very good at either leaping super high for him. We'd sometimes say leaping lawyers when he'd get a ball that was going to go over, would sail over a lesser man's head. Sometimes he had to do the splits to get a short throw that I would often. I was not very good at third base. I'll just put it that way. Got into the outfield pretty quickly. But so he would, and we'd go to parties together. Eric threw a fun party. Gosh, this is probably close to 10 years ago at this point. It was celebrating Robert Burns. It was a Scottish poet, and it was all like written in Old Scottish because it was celebrating his 250th birthday. So you can imagine what this book looked like. You barely even read it. It was such old Scot, and we had haggis, and Eric found all kinds of different types of whiskey. So we had a whiskey tasting, and cigars were smoked, and Jay just enjoyed everything. It was wonderful to watch him and just enjoy everything that had life to offer. And he was just a good friend. He was also very talented. Not just an entrepreneur, not just a very good lawyer. He was he was like an amateur singer. I mean, he used to do I don't know if those of you outside of Denver probably don't know, but many of you in Denver probably know. Our version of Big Ben is a clock tower in downtown Denver, and at the bottom of it is a place called Lanny's Clock Tower Cabaret, and they do all kinds of entertainment, a lot of burlesque type of stuff. In fact, the guy who hosts it or used to host it, his name was Naughty Pierre, went to high school with my ex-wife. So he's right around 51, 52 years old as well. Jefferson Ark is his real name. But Jay won the singing contest. They have like an amateur singing contest, and he won it back in, I think, 2010, 2011, and subsequently got me a spot on one of their first comedy shows when they were bringing stand-up back. And I got to be in on that thanks to him, so that was pretty cool. He, I know knowing as much as I knew about him. Oh, another thing, he was at my bachelor party, and he was victimized by the stripper because the stripper stripper took my pants off. Stripper took my brother's pants off because he was also my best man. And of course, Jay, being the big black man in the room, also had his pants removed. Poor guy. She didn't do anything else than that. Just embarrassed us, really. But I guess she figured if she had to be naked, we had to be half naked ourselves. So that was something that he was in on. But I think the best stories I have about Jay, besides going to parties and having fun, and him just being an amazing person. Like I said, he lived life to its fullest. He did a little bit of everything, super intelligent, very kind person. Never saw him angry I've seen. Mean I never saw. There's a difference. I'll explain that to you right now. The first time I asked for him to assist me in a legal matter was when I was getting divorced about 9 years ago. And I had cheated on Dylan. I admit that freely. I screwed up and went outside the marriage. And he's like, she is going to go for a pound of flesh on you. I was like, really, Dylan? She's always been so cool about stuff. He's like, you cheated on her and she wants a divorce. Pound of flesh. And I was like, okay. And I went in knowing that. I never ended up getting legal representation. I got very lucky. I was able to spend no money, and I just the pound of flesh was taken out in alimony and child support for the first couple of years. It hit me hard financially, and but I did what I was supposed to do. I was responsible, and just now Dylan and I have a really good relationship, and so do the kids. So that's great. So that advice helped me along. The second time he helped me was about a year ago. Right as COVID was going, just as COVID was shutting everything down. This is like March of last year. So, in February of last year, the elementary school I had worked at for 5 years decided they were going to take me out of the position I had done the entire time and move me to a position. And I think they were pretty sure that I would not like this position and would therefore quit. I don't know why they wanted me to quit. I had never been written up. I had never even really been verbally warned about it doing anything wrong. As far as I knew, I was in good standing and was doing a good job. But something happened with my boss and my principal. I list them separately. I had a direct supervisor who used to be a friend, and then the principal. And for some reason, they wanted to force me out. And that's often a tactic, any business takes, or even a school. Say, oh, let's put him somewhere where he's miserable until he puts in his 2 weeks. Well, you got the wrong guy. You got a guy that's around 50. He's put in 5 years of this place. He's getting benefits from this place. I'm not quitting. So I applied for a transfer. And before I did that, I almost had a nervous breakdown. And I left school the Monday before we shut down that following Friday. That following Friday was the 13th, and when we shut down that day because of COVID. And I texted my principal. I said, if you care about me working in this building anymore, you will contact me by the end of the day. She did not. Following day, I let her know that I had applied for a transfer. And so she said, oh, so you quit? I said, no, I applied for a transfer. I'm still in the district. So I talked to Jay about this. And I also went to HR because I didn't find out till April because they had shorted my check. I was like, why didn't I get paid for the whole month? They said, well, you quit. And I said, no, I didn't. I said, I never quit. Show me where I quit. Show me any evidence that I quit. I said I was applying for a transfer. And so Jay had this ability, and I imagine he did it as a father and a husband or a defender of anyone that he loved, to go from really mellow to fuck this, okay? And that's what he did for me. So we're talking, just shooting the shit, and he's like, so what kind of advice do you need? And I was like, told him the whole story, and how HR was backing up my principal and not me, and he just goes right into, he's like, fuck that, fuck that. It's just like, here's what you do. First of all, you tell him you contacted a lawyer. Don't even have to tell him it's me, because you can't afford my retainer. I go, okay. And he's like, and tell him you've contacted a union too. And I go, well, I can't claim that because I'm a paraprofessional. We don't have union ties. And he's like, just tell him you contacted the union anyway. Tell him you contacted the union and a lawyer, and if you actually, are getting a transfer and didn't quit, you should be fine. And they did. They backed down immediately. As soon as I sent them an email to say, hey, here, okay, fine, here's what's going on. Oh, I guess you did apply for a transfer and didn't quit. That's to you, people. They'll never see this, but they know who they are. And I'm happily at the local high school doing great. So, thank you, Jay. We're going to miss you, man. It's way too fucking soon. It's not fair. It's not right. But we just carry on living, and please know if you are looking down on us and you can see anything, you know that we are circling the wagons for your family. They will be supported and loved. And I know I went a little long, but Jay, you're worth the extra minute and a half and then some. Much love, everybody, and hope you and yours are all doing well. Talk to you next time.